Would you like to hear a review of my first 60 days back in real estate? Spoiler alert, I got my first listing under contract. I'll tell you a little bit about that. If you want to hear about that topic, you're in the right place. Let's chat. Hi, I'm Mike Cerrone with the Comeback Agent, and I'm on a quest to sell 25 homes in my first year back in real estate after a 15-year break. And I'm going to share those stories as they come up, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in this documentary here that we're doing on YouTube. So hopefully, if you like this kind of stuff, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. All right, so let me jump in here and give you the quick 60-day review. I'm sitting here in the first week of March of 2025, and so I've been back in the business for just over 60 days. What has happened in that time? Well, first of all, I took my first listing, so that was very exciting. And the source of that listing was PCSOI, past clients and sphere of influence. So a past client that I helped a long time ago, almost 30 years ago, buy their first home, called me up. One of their parents needed some help selling a property, and they thought of me. And I was just very fortunate. I hadn't been marketing to them or reaching out. That's the power of PCSOI. People will call you out of the blue. Now, I recommend you actually reach out to them, market to them, stay in front of them, and amp that up, because I've had a lot of people over the years I've helped didn't reach out to me because I haven't been talking to them for over 15 years. So anyway, somebody did reach out. I helped them. We got the property on, we positioned the property in the market. I'll make this a fast story, but basically it was an older home, was dated, was built in 1960, and the owner bought it then new, and looked like they've maybe done some minor things over the years, but pretty much that was the shape of the home. It was in good shape, but just older and dated. And so I marketed it that way. By the way, I told everybody in the MLS, this is what it is. I took my own photos, which were, not very great, and I lowered expectations. The property was priced well in the market overall, but probably towards the higher end of the range that it would be in its condition. And so we didn't know what was going to happen. We took the coming soon approach, where we put it on the market. Well, let me say that again. We teased the market for a couple of days. In this case, we teased the market for a week, and then we brought it on the market on a Friday so that showings could occur. And so occurrings happened Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday at noon is when all the agents were told they could bring their offers up to that time, and then we'd be reviewing offers that afternoon. And then the next day, Tuesday at noon, we'd get back to everybody. So that was all spelled out in the MLS in the private remarks, that this was what was going to happen, and that the seller had instructed me to do this, and there was no way for them to have their offer reviewed early. The seller would not look at any offers until after Monday at noon, and they could present their offer at any time. And so we brought it out on a Friday, and we had an amazing number of showings. We're in a rather slow market here in Colorado, but luckily, just because of the positioning of the property, we got a lot of excitement. I think we had 18 showings the very first day, and then over the weekend, multiple more. And I think in total we had 25. And we had 4 offers that came in on the first day. Those were a lot of investors, cash closing. You can imagine what those look like. But I used that to then talk about to the other agents who had some interest with their buyers and say, hey, we've got some offers already, and if you'd like to present one, we'd love to take a look at it. We haven't found exactly what we're looking for yet. And so by doing that approach, we were able to generate multiple offers. In fact, we ended up with 9 offers and multiple versions of the offers by the buyers through time, by using a couple different strategies. And eventually we got the property under contract above the asking price. And in fact, we had 2 bidders at the end, and the second bidder wanted to be in second position. So we've actually put a backup offer written up, and we're waiting for the buyer to sign off on that. Probably happen today. So we'll have 2 excellent offers for my little old lady. I have a little 91-year-old lady who I'm representing, and I'm working with her family with a POA to help this happen. So it's pretty exciting. There's a lot of different dimensions to it. but a lot of fun. And I've really enjoyed getting back into it. And as you can imagine, a lot of flurry with 9 offers all coming in, and you have to review those and deal with those and talk to everybody and so forth, which I did. And I used the form that I created, which I'm going to share in another video of how I kept that all straight. Okay, so if you want that kind of thing, stick around and look at the future videos. I'll bring that out for you so you can see what that looks like. I treated all the agents very fairly. I told them what was going on. I wouldn't give them all the details they wanted, of course, when they wanted to know the numbers of what our other offers were, but I did share with them that I had other offers and what was happening, and I kept them all abreast of the situation so they all could participate if they chose to. Also, at the end, after we got it under contract, I notified everybody so they wouldn't be curious or kind of left out in the cold. I let them know that it was under contract, and I told them to thank their buyer for bringing us an offer, and also I thanked the agent for working so hard to bring us an offer and negotiate with us because I know they put a lot of time into it. So I want to make sure that happened. It also, by the way, creates a really great lesson. So there were 10 agents involved in this offer situation. 10 agents, me, the listing agent, and 9 buyer agents. I'm going to get paid as the listing agent. Of the 9, only 1 will get paid and 8 will not get paid for their effort. Just the reason that you should be a listing agent whenever possible. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, so anyway, that was kind of fun. So that was one thing. The other thing that that happened in the first 60 days is interesting. I've been on a diet. I don't like to use the word diet. I've been on a modified food schedule, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been over the last 60 days. It's been working really well for me. Um, Basically what it is, I make that super fast. What I'm doing is intermittent fasting. I'm eating in an 8-hour window each day, which actually is very easy to do. I basically eat from 11 o'clock till 6 o'clock, and I'm not super strict. So if I go a little bit either way, I'm okay with that. But that's basically what I attempt to do every day. I don't eat sugar, okay, any processed sugar, and I don't eat any starch because I found out starch turns into sugar. And again, I'm very basic. This is not a medical thing. Go talk to a medical person if you want medical advice. Just telling you what I'm doing, my understanding of things. So I don't eat sugar. I don't eat starch. But I haven't been drinking milk because I used to drink a lot of milk. And so I do eat meat. I do eat vegetables, and I do eat fruits. So I'll usually start with a big fruit smoothie every morning. It's really awesome. I love it. It gives me a lot of energy. And then for lunch, I'll either have a salad or maybe like today I had some chili, just whatever sounds good. And then I have a good solid dinner with my family at night. And anyway, all of that in that 8-hour window. What's happened is I've actually lost weight. It wasn't my goal, but that's happened. And so I think I've lost 13 pounds now in um, those 60 days. And the funny thing happened is I went to the neighbor's house. I was petting his dog, and it was very dark out. It was at the late part of the day, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, something feels weird, and my ring had fallen off. I become so skinny that my fingers got skinny, and my ring fell off my ring finger as I was petting this dog, and it fell in the grass. And luckily, the neighbor found it and handed it back to me. So I've been wearing it on my middle finger instead of my ring finger, so it won't fall off again until I figure out another way to handle that. Anyway, so I'll share that. Um, Let me give you some other news. So I'm sharing the positive. I'll share the negative. The negative is I've had the objective to become a prospector, a phone prospector, and my goal is to make 200 dials a day to reach out for leads, FSBOs, expireds, circle prospecting, as well as my sphere of influence, and I haven't done that. I did a little bit of it. I did a little bit of testing with text messaging, and I'm a little bit disturbed with myself that I didn't have better discipline about getting that done. And I'm going to work on improving that situation as we move forward. But I have to be honest, I didn't do what I was supposed to do there. Also, I was challenged early on not to rely on my sphere, even though that turns out to be the business that I received for my first listing. And so I wanted to work a market like if a new agent had moved in, didn't have a sphere. Um, and after 60 days, I've decided, you know what, I'm just going to reach out to my sphere. So I, I've got my first postcard that's going to go out and notify everybody, hey, I'm back in the business. In fact, it says I'm back, and gave them a little information and just a hello. Um, that was another interesting story. I've had almost 1,000 closings, 992 closings in my career prior to this, but that was 15 years ago and back. So it was a 17-year span, but it ended 15 years ago. And so I went back and I looked at up all these people, and I was shocked how many people had moved. They didn't call me because I wasn't staying in touch. So they moved without me. They've moved out of state. They're gone, or they moved to a place I can't find them. And I basically had found a old list that was cobbled together, about 600 of them. And as I did my research, sadly, it resulted in only about 100 of them still that I can find and reach out to, mainly by mail, because at the time we were doing everything by mail and email was just kind of coming in and we weren't collecting it. I got a couple phone numbers, but I just have 100 that are actual people that I'm confident I have an address for. And so I lost 500 people. Don't do what I did. Another huge mistake. Make sure that you're create that database of your PCSOI and you maintain it and you reach out to them and you don't lose track with them. Because I estimate if you do the current today's dollars of commissions and what I think I would get off that list at a reasonable number, it was scary. It turned out to be about $1 million a year in GCI that I've forfeited over the last 15 years. And I would not be able to ramp up to that today because I lost that list. As far as going PCSOI. I don't want to work at that high level anymore, that high production. So I've got lower goals this time around. And so I just want to do maybe 25 homes a year. I'm not even sure if I'll hit that this year, but that's my goal. That's what I'm working towards, 2 a month, working up to that. And anyway, so that's been fun. And it's been really fun to get back in the trenches with this closing that we put together. We've got a 2-week close, so it's pretty fast. Love the technology, how I was able to talk to and communicate with all the agents through text message. That's new. I wasn't doing that in the past. Most agents like to do it that way, I found out. Text message, a little bit of email, a little bit of phone call, but mainly text message. That was what everybody was doing as a practice. And I had set up, by the way, a Google voice phone number, which was really smart. So all those texts and calls are coming in on a separate phone number, even though they're all going through my phone. So I have my private calls and then I have the business calls and I can see which are which. So something to consider, and that's another video, how we went about doing that. So hopefully in some way this was helpful for you. And again, if you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down in the comment section. Love to hear what you think about all this. And appreciate you taking the time to listen to me today. Keep moving forward. Bye for now. All right.